Lagos has been labeled as one of the top 3 business destinations in sub-Saharan Africa. And there is no argument that this is true. The evidence, its dynamic and entrepreneurial atmosphere. At every street and corner, there is some form of business taking place. From street vendors selling everything from food, magazines and even household items, to the street restaurants where women serve home cooking, to the rows of banks and businesses along the road. Lagos has an explosive business energy. The city's informal sector is the heartbeat of business, with 80% of its population working as traders, many of them having migrated from cities and villages around the country to get a slice of Lagos' vast potential. Chukwudi Okpara moved from his home in the eastern part of Nigeria to start a business in Lagos, and today he runs a cyber cafe in one of Lagos' islands.
Lagos is highly populated. I know for business to flourish, to move very, very well, you need a very high dense area. People are always busy in Lagos. So no matter what you do, you always find people that will come and patronize you.
But Lagos has also played a major role as a platform for growing sectors in Nigeria. Dakbo Martins moved back to Lagos from the diaspora 2 years ago to launch an internet marketing company, a business that was not too popular in Nigeria before. But since then, he has seen his business grow bigger than he thought it would.
The business climate is ripe for it. The opportunities are, they're all over the place, you understand? Everywhere I go, I see opportunity. Our origin initially started from internet marketing, and the next level was basically having our own platform. I'm amazed. Within the last 2 years, I can assure you that the internet race, or the internet war, however you want to put it in Nigeria, has already started.
His success can be attributed to the growing number of IT businesses because of the speed in which Lagos has tuned into the digital age. IT businesses like InterSwitch are thriving on Lagos' banking sector by providing supporting services.
We provide electronic payment solutions for corporates, for government and for various industry segments. That's what we do in Lagos. So we switch transactions between the various banks. We are, as a company, connected to 24 banks in Nigeria. We believe Lagos is the ultimate place to be in Nigeria. First of all, the numbers are here. Possibly in Lagos, you have more numbers in terms of the population size than some countries of the world.
Also, businessmen like Yemi Adejumo are making huge profits from the growing popularity of IT products in businesses around Lagos.
The IT awareness started from Lagos. People who wanted to, when we remember that 11 years now in the industry, and we find that the companies were in Lagos at the beginning. The big ones started, Chevron, Mobile, Texaco. They were the ones that we started doing support for initially. Shell, then they used to bring in their products from abroad. What they wanted was people who would support the infrastructure in Lagos. So that was why Lagos was the hub of IT, as it were, from the inception.
But Lagos' hospitality sector is fast becoming the big business. Aside from its hotel sector, the number of eateries, restaurants and bars sprouting up around Lagos grows every day. Food Concepts creates and delivers popular food products and entertainment brands to Lagosians.
Every business needs to start off from Lagos, at least especially for our kind of business. We started way back in Lagos in 2001, and we've grown to more than 20 plus stores in Lagos already. And from Lagos, we serve all the other parts of the country.
But talking to any businessman or women, doing business in this burgeoning and fast-paced megacity poses its own challenges. According to the World Bank report on doing business in Nigeria, Lagos needs to work harder to improve its business environment. The city's infrastructural challenges, congestion as a result of a growing population, and lack of constant electricity consequently leads to high operational costs.
Compared to other parts of the country, I guess it's not that good because of power supply. As we speak now, other states, I made research on, I believe they see light, let me say 5 to 10 hours per day. But in Lagos here, we find it difficult to even get 2 hours of electricity here. And we keep running generator, we spend money on diesels and petrol, it's a lot of money.
We spend significant sums of money trying to make sure that we have backup power and power that backs up the backup power, and then inverters and other things that back up that as well.
Rent. even with the edict that says that the increase in rents should be like reduced and all that, landlords in Lagos don't listen. They will continue to double your rent. If you don't want, you can leave the building for them.
Water is also a big issue because, again, we've had to develop and put water treatment plants in all our stores. So basically, that means you spend a lot of capex also to start off this kind of business.
In view of this, the state government has committed itself to a massive upgrade and renewal of the city's infrastructure and has already begun to make moves towards easing the traffic congestion around the state and developing the outskirts of Lagos in order to decongest the inner city. But besides this, many businesses argue that the legal system makes it harder for them to operate in terms of accessing property and the tax burdens.
Double taxation, I really don't think there's much of a case for it. What people find is that this administration is holding people to their civic duties. So sometimes that can be uncomfortable, but this is what happens in any international financial center. Access to land is something that's being looked at on a regular basis. In Nigeria, there's a common land tenure system by federal statute called the Land Use Act, even though we have views that this should be liberalized and put in the control of the state governments. Indeed, we believe that that is the proper regime. We also believe that once this happens, the access to land issues would be reformed into a much easier platform. Essentially, the only drawbacks are probably administrative.
For example, the recent consumption tax, which imposed a 5% tax on prices of any good or service sold at a restaurant, hotel or event center, has been an ongoing discussion between the owners of the establishment and the state government.
You're trying to survive as a business. The more tax you pay, the more it impacts you obviously have to find a way to transfer those taxes to the customers, and there's only so much the customer can take on.
The Lagos state government, however, explains that besides the fact that this tax is also implemented in other countries around the world, this tax will be used to develop the infrastructure around the hotel industry.
One of the easiest ways that you can actually monitor the growth or decline in that sector is through a consumption tax. Almost everybody walks into some fast food or not, whether you are a welder, or a carpenter, or you are a banker or a government official. So from the view of the Lagos state government, part of the ways to taxing that sector, and of course try to study, as it were, that sector, is the introduction of the Lagos state consumption tax.
For smaller businesses, the extra tax implemented by the Lagos Signage and Advertising Agency is too expensive for them to afford.
The only challenge I have here now in Lagos is because of LASA, the Lagos State Signage and Advertising Agent. Actually, I went to the office to make arrangements on how to subscribe with them, but I was told I can't put a signboard outside my gate.
LASA, however, is trying to regulate and develop outdoor advertising in Lagos, requiring each business to register with them and charging tax based on the location of the advert and the size. Acknowledging the challenges, the state government has begun working on improving the business environment by constantly engaging the populace through periodic stakeholder sessions so it can address issues such as access to land, taxation, and government procedural issues.
Let us acknowledge this. They're not there as charity institutions, and therefore we have put some value at their disposal. We have made them understand that our challenges as government officials and as leaders represents business opportunities for them if they are engaged properly.